Testing, testing, testing. Welcome to the Crypto Boss Agent channel live stream. Let's get started. 11 p.m. Central Time. We are live Saturdays and Mondays. I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. I do want to let you guys know before we get started and looking at the Crypto Fear Greed Index that we do go live, like I said, Saturdays and Mondays at 11 p.m. Central Time. We have a Telegram group if you guys want to join that. And then we also have a trading group if you guys want to join that, which the link to join that is inside of the Telegram, or it's also on my YouTube channel. With that being said, let's look at the Crypto Fear Greed Index. Last week, we were at 75 on the Crypto Fear Greed Index. On Saturday night, we were at 71, and now we're at 74. So we're kind of just, nothing is really changing as far as that goes. So I'm really not concerned with that too much. So let's go over to Bitcoin and kind of look at what's going on. We're going to start on the weekly time frame because I believe, well, yeah, since we last went live, we do have a new weekly candle on Bitcoin. So this is the Coinbase chart on the Bitcoin chart. So on the weekly chart, we are covering back to the downside, basically oversold again on the weekly time frame. So weekly is ready for a bounce. The 3-day time frame is almost oversold again. You probably need another 2 more days of downside action because you have a day and 20 hours left on that candle. So the 3-day needs more downside, and the 2-day is ready for a bounce, trying to curve up. Daily is struggling to get the bounce, but you are in a falling wedge on Bitcoin on the daily time frame, so you are ready for the bounce. And your measure move is 72,183. So technically speaking, that would get you close to all-time highs, and then that would get you to the resistance there, right about at 72,800, 72,700. That is the measure move of the falling wedge. So I would say if you can hold these lows at 64,400, you would get the bounce. But if you do not get back above 65,500, or if you can't stay above 65,500, which is weekly resistance and support, then you are going to go down to the next support, which is 60,600. Right now, Bitcoin has to stay above 65.5, and the fact you're barely above it is not a good sign. So really now in a situation like this, you have to look at the smaller time frames. 12-hour chart looks good for a bounce. 8-hour chart looks okay. The 6-hour is struggling. The 4-hour chart is struggling. The fact that the smaller time frames are struggling and making lower highs and lower lows tells me it's likely we're not going to hold the weekly support, and we are going to go down to that $60,000 area. 60,500 is the next support. So right now, unfortunately, I am more bearish than bullish on crypto going into later this week. I am looking for more downside, and if Bitcoin hits 60,000, I think it's more likely that Bitcoin hits 60,500 this week before it gets back to 70,000. So that is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I even think it's more likely that Bitcoin goes down to 60,600 based on the probabilities that I'm looking at on the chart versus it going up to even 68,000 this week. So I'm looking for a move to the downside as low as possibly 60,500 this week on Bitcoin. If that happens, unfortunately, the entire market is going to follow. I hate to say that. If you want to be bullish short term, Bitcoin has to make a higher high above 67,600. If you can't do that, that is going to be another lower high even on the 33-minute time frame. So that is what you have to look for a bullish scenario. If you do not make a higher high above 67,600, you can look for more downside down to the lower $60,000 range. And unfortunately, that is my update for Bitcoin. I'm not bullish on Bitcoin this week unless you make a higher high above 67,600. If you can do that, we can look for more upside in the crypto markets. So if you guys have requests for other altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. I don't have a lot to talk about today because unfortunately nothing has changed since Saturday. In fact, it's bearish. Dogecoin is even struggling right now for any kind of bounce. So even Dogecoin right now is losing that weekly support at the 12-cent range. And really, in fact, a lot of these altcoins are losing weekly support. tells me, especially with Bitcoin doing it as well, that the entire market is ready for another dip to the downside. The next support on Dogecoin is that 6-cent range on the weekly time frame, so that is a big drop. Dogecoin might have a massive red week if you cannot hold 12 cents. So thank you for the likes, and yeah, let me just see if there's any comments on YouTube, which I don't see. So that is kind of what is going on right now. I think we can negate. I'm gonna just do something really quick, make a video on Dogecoin, and then we will move on. Welcome to the Crypto Andrew channel. Let's look right now at Dogecoin on the weekly time frame. Since we last looked at this, we did make a new weekly candle. The weekly is oversold, the 3 days oversold, the 2 days oversold. A lot of these time frames, even the daily is oversold on Dogecoin. What's not a good situation is even though the stock RSI is ready for a bounce, you lost the 17-cent range. So obviously this falling wedge did not play up to the upside. So obviously now it's massively negated. And not only that, you're losing the weekly support at 12 cents. So if you don't hold 12-cent rate region, your next stop would be about 7.3 cents. If you don't hold 7.3 cents, the next weekly support is 5.4 cents. So you have weekly support at 12 cents, and you have weekly support at 5.4 cents, and then you also have a less strong support at 7.3 cents, which I still think that's good support, but it's not as strong as the 5.4 cent level or the 12 cent level. So 12 cents has been holding out for the last few months, and right now you just made a lower low ever so slightly. And now in a time like this, you have to look at the smaller time frames. 8-hour chart is ready for a bounce, 6 hours ready for a bounce. Even on Dogecoin, the 4 hours, same thing. But the 2-hour chart is struggling. You tried to get some kind of move to the upside. You didn't even get overbought, and you're rolling over. So even though I think we're due for some kind of short-term bounce, maybe even just at 13.5 cents, it just doesn't look good. Like, I don't like what I'm seeing on Dogecoin right now. It's likely that if you cannot hold 12 cents, you are going further lower to the downside. And now let me just zoom in here on the 50-minute time frame. Look at that. Like, you got overbought very quickly. That's a much lower high. Even on the 50-minute time frame, the last high was 13.3 cents. Now you're making a lower high right now at 12.2. And also, this is what we call a bear flag. This is your pull down right here. And then this is your flag. So unfortunately, even Dogecoin right now on the 15-minute time frame is in a bear flag and is looking for more downside, and that would take you below that weekly support at 12 cents down to 10.4, and then at that point you're in a downfall. And then if you get down to 10.4, would you make another bear flag, or would you get a V-shaped recovery back up above support? That is what we're looking at for Dogecoin. So right now, if you lose 12 cents, next support is 7.2 cents I see on Dogecoin. So Dogecoin could be in for a massive red week. We'll see what happens. If you guys enjoyed this update, appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe. Even though it wasn't bullish, I'm sorry. That's what I see in the markets. We are live Saturdays and Mondays, 11 p.m. Central Time. Please hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I post a video, and I'll see you guys in the next update. So that's my Dogecoin update. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below and I will look at them. Let me just go back and check YouTube one more time. Nothing on YouTube. So with that being said, I will see if there's any requests. Otherwise, that's what I wanted to go over. My meme coins aren't doing well. I guess one more thing I do want to talk about before I turn it over to requests would be Bitcoin Cash. Wow, Bitcoin Cash, massive dump. I'm glad I finally got a good trade on this. I entered this trade basically at $429.24, and right now it's at $392, as low as $373. So far this is a very good trade. The next weekly support on Bitcoin Cash is $343, and that is my take profit. Also, even we just saw this with Dogecoin. This is also a bear flag on Bitcoin Cash. So this looks for more. This looks like this trend will continue to the downside, and that would take you down to that down to the next weekly support on Bitcoin Cash, basically exactly. So that is my take profit. Also, the 50-minute time frame is completely overbought again, making a lower high. So I love this right now for my short. And it looks like this will print to 343. So it looks like we could see this in the next 24 hours, really, or maybe in the next few hours, a move to the $340 region on Bitcoin Cash, and that is my take profit. I could stay in the trade longer, but that is going to be my take profit. If you make another bear flag, I can always re-enter the trade, but I don't want to be greedy, you know. I want to take profits, and it'll feel good to get a win because it's been tough trading lately. Lately, Bitcoin Cash has been just a lot of chops. I'm glad that there's finally movement in one direction or the other. But anyways, yeah. The fact a lot of these coins are making bear flags just tells me the whole market's about to have a massive red week. I hate to say that, but that's what I see in the markets. That's not good for my portfolio long term. That's not good for my meme coin portfolio, but it's good for my trading when there's some volatility in the market. So it is what it is. The good thing is when you do get red dips, that's when you accumulate and you can add to your long term bags. And yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it. So Bitcoin Cash trade going well so far. Yeah. I don't like to see this on Atom coin. I mean, this is also another bear flag on the Atom coin. A lot of coins are making bear flags right now. This is kind of depressing to look at, but it is what it is. Atom right now is about to lose, like, it's going to make a new bear market low. Like, Atom right now is like at the bear market. This bear flag is saying you're going to $5.50. If you just look at the weekly time frame, and if I just clear the chart for a second, like if you lose $6.13, that's a new low on Atom, and that bear flag on the 15-minute is saying that you could do that. So like Atom got a bounce all the way up to 1470, but since then the last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 3 months have been down and red for Atom. It's unfortunate, but Atom right now, it's one of my bigger holdings. It is not performing well. It sucks. So I hope you make like a triple bottom here and then get a bounce and then can finally print. But Atom looks really bearish right now. It looks like Atom, like it's one of the few coins that's like still at the lows for the bear market, and it could make a new lower low, which is really unfortunate to see. But we'll see what happens, and yeah. I see the whole market taking a massive dip though this week, and Atom, like I said, could make a new low for this cycle if we don't get a massive bounce here in the markets. Thank you, Trevor, for the follow. So someone wants me to go look at the SHIB chart. Let's use the Coinbase version. Hold on, before I do that. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So let's go look at SHIB. I will start on the monthly time frame because I'm curious what the monthly looks like for SHIB. That is overbought, but the weekly on SHIB is oversold, ready for a bounce. Falling wedge obviously negated, so I guess we can just erase that. Unfortunately, again, the whole market, all these altcoins we've looked at tonight, Atom, Bitcoin Cash, and their Dogecoin, and now SHIB, 4 of them, 4 for 4, have all been bearish. I bet there was also a bear flag in the 15-minute time frame. Also, so the weekly support is 17.8, 17 we'll call it. The weekly support is 17, so if you lose 17, you're going down to 8, and that'd be a big drop of about 50%. So you need to hold that $18 or the $17 area, not $17, but you understand what I mean, that 17 region. I would really say you have to hold 18, but I'll be conservative and say 17, because if you hit 17, then it's clearly the fact that you lost the $18 support. So $8 would be the next support on SHIB. I'm just saying $8 because it's easier. So 6-hour chart, 4-hour chart, all oversold, ready for a bounce. But again, you're below the 200-day moving average on all of these time frames, so it's extremely bearish right now. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame and see if we're printing a bear flag like we have on all the other assets that we've looked at tonight. So technically speaking, you still have your flagpole, and I would still basically say that this is a bear scenario nonetheless. You could say that this is a bear flag, but because you're slowly going up and it's not going sideways, I would say that just on the smaller time frames, instead of it being a bear flag, I would just say it's a rising wedge. These break back down to where they started, and if it starts basically at 16, then you can expect it to go back down to 16. So really, unfortunately, whether it's a bear flag or not, it's still a bear scenario, and it's just a different kind of bear scenario. So really, a new low on SHIB is likely, and SHIB right now looks bearish. Now, rising wedges do break out parabolically if they go to the upside, but because the entire market is red, I think it's more likely that you're going to roll over, especially because now in the 15-minute time frame, you're making a lower high. It's just likely that you go to the downside here on SHIB. And again, the next massive weekly support is that $8 region. So SHIB, I'm sorry, but it's bearish. Again, it's also on the weekly, about to lose a 21-day moving average. That is not a good sign. It already lost out on the 3-day. I just don't like what I'm seeing. So, also, the 200-day moving average. Usually, anytime you lose a 21-day moving average, which is this blue line, you go down to the yellow line, which is all the way down at 13, which would be below support. So, I see SHIB possibly going down to 8 right now. I see SHIB going down to the $8 area, and that's what I see. Unfortunately, SHIB looks bearish to me. We'll see what happens, but that is my analysis on SHIB. I'd be in a short right now, not financial advice. If I was in any trade on SHIB, I'd be short. At some point, you probably should expect a short squeeze because everyone's probably wanting to short it at this point. But, I mean, that's just what I see in the market. That's what I see for SHIB. For the bearish scenario, first of all, we need to see Bitcoin do something magical. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, if we want to see us get out of this red market, short term, Bitcoin has to reclaim, I believe. Let me just zoom in. You have to make a higher high above 67.3. If you can't do that, we are going to see if you get overbought and you make a double top at 67.3 or 67K, make a lower high, you are going to see more downside. But if you can break 67, I would even say 67.6 because that's resistance. If you break 67,600, that would be a way out of this bearish market. Make a higher high, then make a higher low, and get out. But if you can't do that, if you make a lower high below 67.3 or 67.6, we are going to just make a lower high and then tumble back over and make a lower low in Bitcoin. And when you make a lower low in Bitcoin below 64,550, that is when you're going to see a massive dip in all these altcoins and all these bear flags start to play out to the downside. And Bitcoin on the 15-minute is already overbought. So let's see what happens. The 1-hour chart and 4-hour chart has gas for Bitcoin, but it doesn't look good to me even on those time frames. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is just going to be a bloodbath. So we'll see what happens. But if Bitcoin's down 5% at the end of the week or more, I would not be surprised. If it's down 5% tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. But we'll see what happens. That's the way out, though. You need to make a higher high on Bitcoin for the entire market to have some recovery. Thank you for the gift, Coach Nelson. Check the HeHe chart, please. Thank you for the lightnings. Wow, it is bright in here. Let's look at the HeHe chart. Let me see. Is that on Solana? Let me go look. I think it is on Solana. Is the market cap $5 million? Okay. Well, I'll make this full screen and we'll look at this, but the chart looks really bad. So your all-time high was all the way up at 34. And now, right now, you're sitting at 5, right? 5.5. So, I mean, it doesn't look very bullish to me, but we'll look at it. Your last low was 3.6. That is going to be support. You're also breaking resistance right now at 5.4. But frankly, I don't think that was very hard resistance to break. The chart doesn't look very good to me. But let me go. 3-day chart. Finally have some data on it. It is almost oversold. Let's go down to the 2-day if we can. Or we'll do the 1-day. The 1-day time frame right now. Your last time you overbought on the 1-day was 9, basically that 10 level. So if this doesn't get back to 10 or makes a lower high below 10 before you overbought on the daily, that's extremely bearish. The bullish scenario on the daily is you have to break the 10. And on the 12-hour chart, you're probably already, on the 12-hour chart, you're already overbought, making a lower high for right now. So I don't like what I'm seeing on HeHe right now. You have to break 10 to remain bullish. Right now, you're only at about 6, so it's not looking great. The 4-hour charts are overbought right now. We'll see what happens. The 2-hour chart doesn't look good. I I would basically say this: you have to break 10 to remain bullish. If you can't break 10, like short term, you could get a bounce a little bit higher, but right now, you have to break 10 to remain bullish. If you can't break 10, I see more downside on HEHE, and you're at 6.6 right now. Market cap is really small at 5 million, so it could pump pretty easily if it ever got. But until the market turns green again, it's going to be hard for meme coins to pump. I don't care what the market cap really is. So that's my analysis. If you don't break 10, that's a lower high, and I guess I'll leave it at that. There's not a lot of data to go off of, and unfortunately, that's just what I see for HEHE. Wow, my meme coins are getting obliterated. I mean, obliterated. Like, this chart doesn't look any better than HEHE, so. Wow. Alrighty, well, it is a bloodbath today. I will just say that. Like, I bought this at 35 and it's at 18. Like, that sucks. Like, oh, I'm waiting to just wait it out. Like, in a month, it'll probably be way above 35, but it's not easy right now. I'll just say that. Gotta hodl if you believe in your project. But yeah, hope to come back later this week with a different sentiment. I hope so too. I hope Saturday we can have a better day, but I don't know, man. Like I'm thinking Saturday Bitcoin's gonna be at 60,000. We'll see what happens. I really hope maybe Bitcoin will go down to 60,000 and be back at 65 by Saturday. I'd be okay with that, you know. I don't think this top is in for Bitcoin, but you know, anything's possible. I mean, obviously every cycle is going to have diminishing returns as more money comes to the market. So, you know, if we only get to $100,000 this cycle, that, to me, that's okay. You know, it doesn't feel like it's anything crazy because that's only $40,000 higher than the last cycle. But if you think about it, how much money that is, it's a lot. So we'll see what happens. Bitcoin is still outperforming the stock market, you know, since it started, so you can't really complain about another, like, even if Bitcoin only goes to $100,000 to $120,000 this cycle, that's still a double from last cycle, and that's a lot of money in the crypto space. So to me, that's not the end of the world. But that's how I see it. Plus, if you're buying the bear market, and if you're buying Bitcoin at 15,000 and it goes to 100,000, that's at 8x. So, you know, I don't know. I'd be okay if Bitcoin only goes to 100,000. I will not complain personally. I could see 7 to 10 trillion being the total market cap right now. I think we're at what, 3 right now. So, but 2 or 3. I don't even really know what it is. But anyways, I think 7 is a good target. 7, 8 to 10 is a good target. If Bitcoin goes to 100,000, especially with all the altcoins, a lot of the altcoins will get a rally. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a blow off top of 10 billion. But yeah. So, yeah, that's what I see. Anyways, with that being said, guys, that's all I got. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. I'll be back live Monday. No, today's Monday. Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. And until then, trade safe. Have a great week. Hopefully we get some bounce here. But if we don't, buy the dip. That's what I say. I'll be buying more crypto this week for sure. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll be posting videos throughout the week on my YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Trade safe. I'll be posting some videos also on YouTube after this live stream like usual for Dogecoin. But that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys, for stopping by and supporting the channel.